gotta shine when the light grows dim. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it.
Hello everybody and welcome to Fear of the Flat Planet. Behind the scenes look at the Canadian snowboard team. Joining me today, we've got JASMINE BAIRD. How are we doing, JASMINE?
Hey, I'm doing real good. How are you, Henry?
Well, as we said just before, I'm dealing with a rather large spot on my nose, so I'm gonna deal with that after the podcast. We'll leave that to later. But JASMINE, where are you joining us from?
I am living in Whistler right now at my place and just got out of quarantine, thank God, because I was riding in Switzerland, and with the travel and COVID right now, there's the mandatory quarantine going down. So got a lot of Netflix in, a lot of yoga, a lot of just chilling. But yeah, I'm out now.
You were in Saas-Fee?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was so sick. It was my first time back on snow in like 13 months, I think it was, because I tore my ACL last year. So I was off for a little while, which sucked, but it was a really fun trip.
Was the 13 months just extended because of what happened with COVID? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was supposed to be riding at like 9 months. So I think in March, and that's exactly when everything shut down. So
this was off, this was in New Zealand, wasn't it, that you blew your knee? And this was off the back of the 18-19 season, which was a pretty good season for you, wasn't it? Couple of World Cup podiums were in size around, was it?
Yeah. That was definitely my best season so far. My best result was the 3rd place in Italy at the Size Around World Cup. And I got 6th at World Champs that year. So made finals and got up there. So yeah, that was sweet. That was my first time getting an invite to US Open as well. So that was really sick. That was I guess the biggest contest I've done so far.
How was that experience, getting the invite to the US Open? Was that an all positive, or were you like, oh, US Open, start to shake, or was it all good?
Yeah, definitely a bit of both, more excitement than scared, but I was getting there, and features are pretty large. The rails are definitely higher off the ground.
Yeah.
But I don't know, figured it out.
You're not from British Columbia, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm from just outside of Toronto. So it's a small town called Georgetown. But I started snowboarding when I was really young, just a couple months old, because my family has a chalet.
Sorry, how old did you say? Did you say a couple of months old?
Yeah.
How did you start snowboarding when you're a couple of months old?
Ask my parents. They had me on the leash, ready to go.
No way.
Yeah, been doing it for a while.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So almost pretty much born on a snowboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
totally.
And where was that? So that was it. That was in Ontario. That was which resort was it?
Beaver Valley Ski Club, if you know. It's
I've never been.
Sure.
Can't say that I'm particularly familiar with it, but if it's producing national team riders, I'm sure it's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, it's just it's a private club in Ontario, and it's near Collingwood and Blue Mountain for anyone else that knows that area. Yeah, we had a chalet at the bottom of the ski club there, so ever since I can remember, we were up there winter weekends boarding, and yeah, it was really sick.
And then did you then go through the provincial teams?
So I got into the freestyle program at Beaver and did that for 2 years maybe, when I was probably started park when I was 14, I would say. And after about 2 years there, I went to Mount St. Louis and joined another team, Icarus, and did that for a couple of years. And that's when I started getting into provincial and national contests. And then I started winning most of the national contests and got on to next gen from there.
Yeah. So was that path fairly clearly set out for you when you were growing up? Because I chatted to Seb, and he was saying he's a bit older than you, obviously, and so he sort of had. There was less of a clear path, I guess, for him. I mean, he sort of went more down the pro rider route, and then the national team came along a little bit later. But for someone like yourself, was it a pretty clear path, the way onwards and upwards from such a young age?
Well, I didn't really know I'd be ending up doing it as my career. I just knew I loved it and wanted to do it all the time. And then when I did start winning the contest, all the Air Nations, if you know those ones, like national contests and stuff. And yeah, I started getting good results there. So I was like, oh, okay, I could actually do something with this. But yeah, I don't know. The plan from the start was just kind of like to get really good because I loved it.
So you just come back from SASFE. You said it was a little bit crazy with the quarantine and everything, but SASFE, I mean, always a good time. Did you get many days on the hill?
Yeah, we were counting, but I forgot, maybe like 18 days on snow out of like the 30 we were there. So
that's
definitely
good,
decent. Yeah, there was definitely a few weather days. We had to take like 3 days off in a row twice, I think. But other than that, the good days are just like so good.
Yeah.
And I even we checked the weather for the weekend after we were supposed to fly out, because we were going to fly out Friday, but then the Saturday and Sunday just looked like bluebird, perfect, warm. So I extended my flight to 2 days later. And
was that just you, or was that the whole team?
It was me and Lori Luen.
Yeah,
we stayed. Or sorry, Tyler Nicholson also stayed for those 2 extra days.
Making the most of those extra days. And how is it now, having moved on from the next gen up to the main squad, riding with the big dogs, as it were?
It's been so sick. Like, it's actually crazy because a couple years ago I was looking up to everyone on this team like so much, just like watching everyone's videos, waiting for the new Instagram post, and now I'm just riding with them, traveling with them. So it's been really sweet.
Have you got any dirt on any of them yet?
Oh yeah, you want to hear the gossip? No, we're all good friends, and yeah, it's been really, really fun. And the coaches are so sick, and the whole support team's like amazing, and they're all just like really stoked on us and want to help us. So yeah, it's been really nice.
What's so you mentioned the support team. So obviously, you know, everyone from the outside knows these days, snowboarding's progressed from the kind of like video part back in the day, couple of contests with a few beers and all this kind of thing, maybe throw a 720 and you're like, woohoo, just won.
Now
like triples, quads in the guys, girls throwing cab 12s, like 14-year-olds doing back 12s. Like, the world's gone crazy, but it's amazing. But obviously the athletic element has come into play quite heavily since the advent of the Olympics and everything like this. Like, so the support, what is the support crew around you when you go on the training camp, for example?
So yeah, usually when we're going for training camp, we bring our physio, and then sometimes Jeremy, our strength coach.
Yeah.
So he'll do like active recovery with us and some breathing stuff and workout programs, things like that. Stretching in the morning, mobility after. So yeah, we got it all going on. There's also a guy, Chris Bertram, who's like our flow coach and just helps with like mental states and sort of working with breathing techniques to either get you more hyped up or bring yourself down a bit if you need to. So yeah, it's been really cool. I've learned a lot for sure.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was always about calming you down, but I didn't realize there was ones to like hype you up.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so much stuff I didn't know that I'm learning. So it's been really sweet.
And is it something that you're diving into? Because I guess some people, have their own process and they're like, no, I'm good. They'll sort of dip in a little bit, but are you just like, give me everything? Yeah,
no, at this point, like, especially after last year, I'm taking like anything I can get that's going to improve my boarding like as quick as possible. So yeah, especially after not riding for so long, I was getting back and hitting the smaller jumps and smaller rails, but still like super nervous just because I don't know, I'm thinking,
oh no, it's horrible coming back like that. I broke my collarbone in 4 years. I mean, I'm probably triple your age, so I broke my collarbone hitting a rail, and the first time at the age of 37, what was I doing? Definitely shouldn't be hitting rails still, but then next time I was like, I have to hit a rail again in my life. I'm kind of stopping it now, but it was like that first board slide on like a 1 meter long gas pipe was probably the scariest thing I've ever done on a snowboard.
No way. Did it? Ooh, collarbone does not sound fun though.
No, not a fun time. I wouldn't advise it. But how's the feeling then? So are you feeling strong? Do you feel like it's like, have you come back stronger? Because I feel sometimes people come back after an injury and maybe they get introduced to physio or like working out when they haven't done that before, and sometimes they just come back beast mode.
Yeah, I definitely do feel stronger, and before I was like got the okay to go back on snow, we did some tests in the gym for strength and everything, and I have a higher vertical jump than I did before injury and just stronger overall. So yeah, it's been really good. And riding in Sauce Bay, I was keeping up with the workouts every day. But yeah, I was definitely really nervous about my knee and like jumping again. I was like, I have to get the perfect speedland sweet spot every time or this is going to go bad. But then of course, like how it goes, I started knuckling a bit or going too big a bit and it was fine. It could take it. So yeah,
it's almost one of those things, isn't it? You almost like kind of, you never want to hit a knuckle, but you get that, like you do a knuckle and nothing happens. You're like, oh, I'm sweet. I'm good now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And it's just like relief, like, okay. Because in the air, you're just staring at the knuckle coming and like, you know, this could go one way or another.
Do you ever let out any expletives in the air? Like I remember we a lot of comps, there's microphones set up and sometimes you get, I think it might have been Spencer once was flying through the air on a live broadcast and came up a little bit short and there was a fair string of words that came out of her.
Yeah. I like so vividly remember the moment right before I hit the deck and tore my ACL. Like I just saw it coming and just screaming. Not so good words either. So
yeah. Well, glad that it's all healed up and you're feeling strong. So what, I mean, it's a hard topic to broach at the moment, I guess, but what are your plans? What have you got lined up? I mean, so much uncertainty going on. Do you even have a clue what's going on? What your plans are?
Yeah, so we did get a contest schedule sent out to us. That's pretty, like, I don't know, I'd say like 90% confirmed. So not 100%, but at least I kind of have an idea of what the year is going to look like. So yeah, my main goal is to get to the 2022 Olympics for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, to get there, this will be the Olympic qualifying year. So first, there's a couple big airs in Austria in January. That's going to be the first contest. And then World Cup in Mammoth, World Champs in China, another World Cup in Czech. So I feel like I'm missing one, but yeah.
Larks, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So I'll be doing those for sure. Well, as long as they go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my goal is just want to learn my tricks better, like get everything consistent, get bigger tricks, and just start throwing down in contests, getting good results, and hopefully make Olympic team.
At the moment, are you working on getting back to where you were, or are you already in the process of sort of throwing bigger tricks?
Yeah, so Sauce Bay was like a big just return to snow, take it easy. Like first few days I wasn't even leaving the snow, like no ollies or anything, literally just carving, switching regular. And then we got into little 180s on rollers and finally then hitting rails and then jumps were last. So yeah, it was getting like progressively a lot better, but still didn't get to do all my like best tricks there. Yeah, we're just taking it really slow.
Busy contest schedule. You mentioned obviously the upcoming, Olympics in 2022. Yeah. Do you go into the qualifying process? I mean, this is your first time trying to qualify. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going into it, is there some strategy you think that the team might implement for yourself, or do you have a sort of, because I guess there's been times in I've spoken to different riders in Olympic qualifying times. And they're like, well, I just, if I do this, I'm good. And then I'll kind of like not hold back, but, like do enough and then save the big bang for the actual event. Or like, do you go into it with a sort of full on game plan, or is it like contest by contest, just do well here, forget about the rest? How do you approach it?
Yeah, I don't really have this whole like master plan, but I know if I get new tricks and can get my tricks really good and put it down in contests, that'll be pretty safe for making the team. So yeah, it'll kind of be a contest by contest thing. And I think I'm still like a bit confused by all the, how the selection works, but I think it's like top 3 results of big air and slope each.
I guess, of course, I'm sorry. My question was more directed towards Olympic qualifying, but of course, it's you got to qualify the spots, and then the spots get chosen, don't they? Yeah. So
you have to be like top 24, I think, on the world ranking list, and then that will open up a spot. Then it goes from there.
Yeah. So then you open up a spot, and then your nation has a spot, and in theory you should fill that spot, but there can be coaches' choices and things like that can happen.
Exactly. Yeah. And like things like national team has priority over next gen and things like that. We have 4 spots per gender for Canada, and right now there's 4 girls on the national team. So because for the guys it's a whole different affair, isn't it, really? Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and just pick a name out of a hat, and any of them could even win the Olympics. It's not even like it's guaranteed a spot in the team. Like that name is easily a medal contender.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like top 30 guys or whatever they're choosing from, like they're all so good. Like the 30th guy could easily win. So
Do you enjoy when you're training and with the squad? Do you enjoy? Do you ride? Do the girls mostly stick together, or do the guys and girls mix and help each other out? How does it? What's the dynamic?
Usually pretty mixed, I'd say. Like I haven't rode with this team too much because of last year.
Yeah.
So, but like in Sauce Fe, we're all kind of lapping together, and just switches up every run pretty much.
I must say, it always seems at the contest that I've been at, the Canadian team seems like quite a good unit together.
Yeah.
Like some other nations are a little bit more sort of individuals who've been put under a flag, whereas Team Canada already seem to be sort of a good melting pot of everyone looking out for each other.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that too. Like it's just everyone's so nice and like friendly, so it's been really chill.
Is everyone friendly? I'm still searching for that dirt, Jasmine.
Not ratting anyone out.
Okay. You've got the cab 99, haven't you?
Yeah.
Is that something that you is relatively consistent in your game?
Relatively, yeah. I haven't done too many.
Yeah.
I've probably landed like maybe 10 total.
Yeah.
So not a ton, but like, when I'm going into it, like I know I'll probably land, you know.
I mean, for me, probably was a good shot. I was like, maybe I'll land most of the time when I was snowboarding. I still snowboard. Maybe this will work out. Probably was like a straight out. I'll probably land this, but you never know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel that. But
and I mean, out there on the international scene, which other riders do you outside of the sort of Canadian team? Which are your favorites? Who do you really look up to?
I really love Jamie. She's so sweet, and like she just always looks so chill when she's riding. Like I aspire to have that like just laid back style.
It's unbelievable, like how, like you said, how chilled she looks, how chilled she is, and just like it's so funny how it's just incredible how she's managed to stay at that top level. Like there's been riders who've maybe sort of jumped her for a bit, but it's not taken long before she's like, oh, you girls are doing cab 99s? I'll learn that. Oh, you're doing cab 10s? I'll learn that.
Yeah.
And
you just keep pushing and like getting back to the top. It's so sick.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have a future Jamie Anderson here with you.
Yeah. That would be dope. We'd be stoked on that. Yeah. But she's really sweet. Anna as well has been absolutely ripping it up. Zoe as well, I look up to. Her switchback 9s are just insane.
Oh, best in the world. I don't think there's anyone.
No, straight up like best I've seen. Like just so consistent too. Like I don't know, just this past year of not being able to be at the contest and just watching like the live streams, like the girls have just been progressing so quick, and like I'm stoked for sure.
I mean, it's something we talk about a lot in at the events, is like not to take anything away from the guys, but the guys not it hasn't stagnated. Let's say that the really hard tricks are becoming more consistent and more commonplace. But in the last like 4 years or 5 years, the level of girls riding has just gone, and it's so exciting to watch. Like it's gone from, I mean, obviously the Jamie domination years were amazing, and I mean, she's still dominating now, but
yeah,
it's so much more exciting with the like it really is anyone's game. Like you don't know, there could be a world's first at a contest, at any contest, or it could be like the first time a rider's landed stuff. Like the X Games, for example, Big Air last year was just insanity. Like riders just landing stuff they'd never even tried. Oh, incredible.
Actually, just crazy stuff was going down. Like it's been so cool to watch, and I definitely got to put in some work to catch up and make sure I can get up there too. But
does that kind of stuff at a contest, does seeing that, you know, stuff like that go down, does that fire you up, or do you need like does it like intimidate you? Like, are you able to turn it into like, wow, she's just done it, I can do it? Or do you,
I know
you help to get over that?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's a bit of both, sort of. Like, I'm like, whoa, okay, it's time to actually be doing some 10s and 12s multiple ways. But I don't know, it just gets me so stoked. Like, yeah, I see that these other girls are doing it, and then I know like it's possible. I know I can do it too. So yeah, I'm hoping to go to Maximize in Quebec after Christmas and get some airbag time and try some stuff out for sure. Some like cab 10, back 10 maybe. And we'll see how that goes. Maybe bring it onto snow pretty soon after, because that'd be sick for Big Air. I'd be stoked if I could put a 10
for sure
down.
Yeah, have you had much time in an airbag before? Have you used Maximize?
No. I've only been once there before, and that's when I tried the cab 9 the first time, and I was only there a couple days, but then came to WIS after and did it on snow. So I think it's like a really good tool for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a debate. Like since they came along, it's been a debate. Like, airbags. I mean, I think nowadays, you know, if the tools are there to make something safer, like what are you proving by? Well, I learned that on snow. Like, well done.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I do get the whole side of it, because like snowboarding just supposed to be like risky and like, you know, free riding, whatever, just hawk and pray. But I don't know. I think for like, just things like injury prevention and just consistency overall with tricks, it's just good to like do it. And who's it? No,
I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's still, you're still gonna, like, you're not gonna win a contest doing it into an airbag. You still got to go and do it on whatever's in front of you. So
exactly,
like the risk is still there. You're just mitigating it, but it's not taking anything away from the fact that you might have to do that trick on. You know, a couple of years ago, the X Games jump was the biggest ever built it. And like, I don't know if you saw when the girls were just getting, like, not just the girls, like guys were pulling out, like, we're not hitting that jump. Like you could be faced with that. Like, I got to go upside down 2-3 times. And at that point, someone going, oh, you learned that on an airbag, you just punch them in the face.
Basically.
I mean, the level's so scary these days. Like, why?
Yeah. Like, why not? If you can use it, like, we might as well.
Hopefully we're going to see you over in Europe for the contest. It's going to be good.
I haven't been to Austria before, so I'm excited to go to Kreuzberg and do a Big Air there. Should be sick.
Oh, is there a Big Air in Kreuzberg? You see, I've been I kind of went into a COVID-induced bubble and haven't been paying any attention to anything that's going on kind of now. But now I've been seeing all the posts of like, you know, Prime Park's open and the SASFE stuff was already like, oh, okay. So I now need to start paying attention, but okay. So
things are changing. But so far that's the plan, but I'm really excited to see Austria. It should be good. And China as well. I've never been to China, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, China's a trip. I think I've been like maybe 8 or 9 times.
What? Really? Just for boarding?
For Air and Style, I was like 4 times at Air and Style. No, it's maybe not 8 times. But then, it was Air and Style. And then there was the TTR World Champs one year. We had that event in Harbin. And then there was, no, maybe that was it. 5 or 6 times, maybe. Anyway, it's a trip, China. Really cool. Really.
What should I expect? Good stuff?
Really good stuff. Like, just go. I think like really just go with an open mind, and it'll just blow your mind. It was like, saw some of the weirdest stuff I've ever seen in
I believe it.
Just got to see
whole other world.
Like, really cool, different culture. It was amazing.
Do most people speak English there at all?
No, not at all.
No. Okay.
A lot of people do, but I got lost in Beijing almost, and I was like, I had this piece of paper with the hotel address written on, and I had like 5% of my battery left on my phone, and I was genuinely like, if this phone runs out, they'll never find me again. Like,
No, never.
I was so far from where I had to be, and it all worked out. But yeah, it was pretty insane.
That's such a nightmare.
Yeah.
So learn some Chinese before going.
I mean, I think from what I gathered while we were there, like the dialects of Chinese or of Mandarin change so frequently. Like even people from like this part of Beijing, and then you go like 2 hours away, they don't speak like particularly similar.
Like they can't even understand each other.
But yeah, they took such good care of us. It was great. Like air and style in the bird's nest, the first year that Olympic sport. Because is it at the World Champs this year? Is it just going to be big air, or are they running the slope style as well?
It's right now. They say they're going to do both.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If you had to pick big air or slope style as your favorite, which would you go for?
I like slope style for sure. I just like the feeling of putting a whole run together, and like I love riding rails too, so there's definitely that part. Yeah, I don't know. I like slope. I've had better luck with slope. So that's also probably why. But yeah, once I start getting bigger tricks, I'm sure I'm going to be leaning towards big air a bit more too.
Very good. All right then. Well, Jasmine, it's been a wonderful chat. Great to meet you digitally finally, as we cross paths around the world at contests. But thanks for your time. And we're just going to give a quick shout out before we go to Skull Candy, who are responsible for this podcast, giving us the chance to talk to you. And also, we want to let everybody know, if you do want to help out with the Canadian snowboard team, you could go on the website, canadasnowboard.ca, and there's loads of different ways you can help out riders like Jasmine. You can go and buy some of the awesome product on there. There's the hoodies. Have you got your hoodies and t-shirts yet, Jasmine?
Got my t-shirts already. Yeah, waiting on a hoodie, but they are sick.
The really neon ones? Is it the neon ones you've got, like the new kind of ones?
Yeah, so sick. I'm stoked on those.
I mean, obviously with what's been going on in the world, my package it's somewhere, but it's not quite here yet. That's why I'm not rocking one today. But yeah, I've ordered and I can't wait to get them. So you can go online and order those.
So comfy too. I don't know what
all the purchases help the team. What was that? Sorry, I interrupted you then.
No, sorry, all good. I was just saying those sweaters are so cozy. They're my favorite things.
And then of course, in these times, they've got the mask as well. There's the 2-pack of masks, nice sort of camo mask, good for traveling if you're able to do so. So any purchase helps out the team incredibly. You can also donate $20 and up. You get a charitable tax receipt with that. And what the really cool thing with the donations zone is, there's a donate tab, is you can choose which province you can choose exactly where your money goes. So it can either go to the top tier team for riders like Jasmine, or you can pick your territory or your province and say, I want my 20, 50, however many dollars to go towards that. And we can keep supplying the stars of the future with the support that they need. And don't forget to follow at Canada Snowboard on all social media, and you can keep up to date with all of Jasmine and all the rest of the team's comings and goings.
Yep.
There you go. Any last words before we leave, Jasmine?
Not too much, but it was really nice to chat. Thanks for catching up.